Hello viewers, my name is Adam.
Yeah, I'm Aaron.
This is Seeking Me Productions. For you, another TV series review.
So we finally say goodbye to yet another animated series.
This is The Owl House.
For the most part, a lot of Disney's clientele deals around with the concept of family-friendly content. And that,
Lighthearted.
Very lighthearted. Like,
very toned down, very skewed, young.
You won't see anybody throw punches like you would on Dragon Ball Z or in Tom and Jerry.
Or those hard-hitting, multi-layered comedy shows. So,
but that started to change.
Yeah, mid-2010s and the early 2022 era, it was a very shift in animation in general. With up until that point, most of the creators of anime content were mostly males, with very few female created shows.
Yeah, or centered shows.
Or centered shows in general, yeah. Well, Disney mainly took care of the female department.
Yeah, but it wasn't like they were doing it in the sense that you were seeing the same kind of content or shows that was geared towards male audiences, catered to the female audience.
Even then, when with shows that are created by had a female like lead in it, it's still most of them were made by men.
Exactly.
So very few often for a female creator to make their headway. But in the 2010s, early 2020 era, more female creators were headlining their own created shows.
Exactly.
Most of these shows actually geared towards the coming-of-age adventure fantasy genre.
And this is something that I believe the Owl House completely embodies, and it is very much the core of its being as the show is directed. The series itself focuses on a young Dominican American girl named Luz, who is a bit of an oddball, where she's at, and she's being raised by her single mom, having unfortunately had lost her father years before. But she is very much an upbeat, happy-go-lucky individual who is almost always trying to see the magical aspects of what life has to offer, especially geared towards her role model, which is a character in her favorite series of books.
Yes, and unfortunately, this outcast-like behavior, it clashes with the more mundane society that she's growing up in and gets her a lot of trouble. The series kicks off when, at the end of the school year, that she is supposed to go to a summer camp.
Yeah, reformatory summer camp.
Yeah, it was like more conversion than anything else. But thing is, she takes a detour when she comes across something that's probably nothing within her realm.
Yeah, she ends up going into a new reality where magic thrives and is very much the heart of which everything lives and breathes. A place that is aptly named the Boiling Isles,
which is this large archipelago formation built off the body remains of a mystical beast known as Titans. The Owl House, like described, is a coming-of-age adventure fantasy. It is very much a story-driven show. So around the back, something like this is not going to be something that Disney would have greenlit immediately without some convincing.
Exactly, because this series, this is very serialized. There's a particular story that's playing out in Luz's adventures, and it's an amazing story to go around there.
And not the matter of to even add more fuel to the fire of it being like an outlier to most Disney animated produced content. The tone of the show is it does take more seriously and was slightly more mature, and also some dark elements are at play. It's not. This is not something that you will probably find on Cartoon Network with something like The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Oh, no. Talk about a series that actually had no business being on any child series, any network geared towards kids. That's a totally left field type of situation.
Or even Invader Zim on Nickelodeon when it aired. The Owl House did it's lightly hearted, but with a more darker undertone.
I would say edgier.
Despite it being the part of the demon realm, it's still have a lot of the heartwarming, wholesome stories that you will expect from something from Disney.
And it has everything to deal with the characters that are involved with this series.
Luce, main character, already a standout from most animated shows. One from her ethnicity, but also from the main character of her being quirky, weird, queer. She's proud of who she is, and she wants to see the best in everybody. But thing is, with her going and her spontaneous such nature. Brings such curiosity, which was the reason why she stumbled upon this realm in the first place.
And of course, one of the few things that she stumbled upon first was another individual named Ida, who is also aptly named the Owl Lady.
Yeah, basically the whole titular part of the show. Ida, she's very much portrayed as the cool aunt character that Luce always wanted to have, and she's a very powerful witch at that who takes up with Luce's pleading to actually teach her magic.
Yeah, Ida's whole ordeal is the concept that she believes that magic in his heart is wild and untamed and deserves to be that way. You can't contain something so great and powerful all within strict organized areas. It's never going to work that way, and she very much embodies that concept. But unfortunately, that also underlines another aspect of her character because of that recklessness and that spontaneity within herself and how she expresses with others. There's almost always a certain level of danger that falls with her.
Yeah, because she's an outcast, but more she's also a dangerous type outcast due to the fact that she is unfortunately burdened with a curse that transforms at times into a beastly owl. But that is from secrets that a lot of secrets told throughout later story. Some of those secrets are are brought up by the character of her sister, from who is a stark contrast to her own personality.
Yeah, Evelyn is very much a unique individual herself. An individual who's always seeking to prove herself and her self-worth, not only to her boss, who happens to be one of the main antagonists of the show, but also to her sister and her family as well.
She was trying to please somebody.
Exactly, she's very much a pleaser. But she, along the story and as it goes, you do get to see more layers develop and reasons for why she is the way she is. Another character who is who's just incredible to witness and see grow is the character of King.
Now, King, amongst the many characters of the show, his character is built up with some mystery that is mostly revealed in the later half of the series. He is short guy syndrome, Napoleon complex, thinking that he's
way bigger than he actually really is. But he also plays very well with the concept of his cuteness factor too. So it's interesting.
It's just unfortunate that because of so much of his character is revealed later on in the series, unfortunately the series doesn't actually last as long to really explore that much of this side. So I feel as though by the series end with his story arc, his story was just beginning. Thing is, other characters who I feel as though have more of a full story arc is the character of Amity.
Yes.
A character who was first introduced as somewhat of
a rival and a figure, but given towards how her story arc goes on, you figure out that she, even though she presented herself as an individual, not unlike Evelyn, which is ironic considering that was one of her mentor figures, is a individual who found trying to find balance within herself in a sort of place of where she belongs. Very much turns into an individual who embraces exactly all of what she is without having to conform to what other people think she should be.
A lot of the other students involved with like Willow and Gus, a lot you see like the show tackles a lot of these coming of age themes of identity very much so in the story in the middle school setting. Very much so well balanced here storytelling, so good hard work. Despite what some controversial scandals say, this is still worth watch television.
Yes.
But as far as antagonists go, majority of his most of the major faction of antagonists are under the character of Bellows, who is basically governs the Society of Boys out as this very strict
caste-based system of you fit in this mold and that's all you need to be. Where it's technically derived from a much darker and more selfish concept that is very much the core of who he is, and that is an onion that is definitely peeled towards the end of the series.
Yeah, it's very much a fascist in of itself.
Oh, very heavily.
Production. Now, the series created, as we said, the series created by one of the few female creators in animation, down at Terrace, and her team was able to bring to life a very richly layered story with some of the best art direction, especially from Disney.
There's a lot of the fluid animation that goes into the series is so heavily inspired by concepts that you would have seen from other series in general.
The era in which the mid-2010s and early 2020s and going forward, you really do start to see the shift in the new animators that are coming to fruition, and they're expressing their influences when they were growing up.
Either the anime community, a lot of the I want to say anime community again. Wink, nudge, nudge. Idris character, Tenchi Muyo.
The show, like the very basic premise of the show, even though you could say this is just like a more Disney version of Harry Potter. We're talking about anime. A lot of the premise, some of the characters are actually made up in like very strikingly similar to a Studio Trigger anime.
Yes,
which Academy is.
It's probably like the American aspect of it.
But it has its own unique lore.
Exactly.
It's
like an homage. It's very much an homage, I would say.
And a lot of the what really drew our eyes first and foremost from the show was just how well done they were able to do the action and animation.
Yeah, some of the fight scenes in this series are top tier.
Especially this is above. This is much ranked higher above of most of the shows that were developed in this era, where they have a lot more consistency with their animation.
Yeah, and that's something that I guess we can definitely also applaud. In a series where, in a time and age where it's incredibly difficult to still maintain consistent, fluid animation in sequences, this series almost constantly delivered on that front, and that is impressive.
But there's no easy task, especially with the character designs that are actually presented in the show. Especially their character designs evolve over time even to the last frame of the show. Very complex, very unique, but still very much within this world that they created. Character art direction that. It's very peak Disney TV animation. But it's just unfortunate that because of unofficial reasons, they decided not allow the show to end as fully as they could have. But
it's very weird.
It does affect the storytelling, mainly into the last season, because the first 2 seasons, 2 full 20 episodes. Third season, just 3 specials, hour specials. Not necessarily how they ended is satisfying.
Yes, but it's like you really could have had a lot more time to flesh out, especially again with another character, i.e. King, and he's not that.
And also other later important figures that could have been fleshed out so much better. That the show
is rushed.
It feels like you can easily see they're doing montages to do
to tell storylines in which they could have done in a full-on season or seasons.
And which is, unfortunate, that is the show's biggest downfall. And so, I'm willing to say that despite its very, like some characters and storylines that should have easily been explored in more episodes, I'm still going to be willing to give this show a great.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
It
could have got amazing. It could have been epic if it got in its chance to actually tell its story on its own terms. But for what it was given, a great series it truly was.
My name is Adam, and this has been Seeking Me Productions.
And I'm Aaron. If you like this, please like, share, and subscribe. And hit that bell down there at the bottom for notifications to hear more from us. And we want to hear from you. Have you seen The Owl House? How did you like it? Any favorite characters? Let us know.
And also, be sure to like our content from all our social media outlets, so Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, because content that we don't necessarily put on this channel.
Because there's only so many hours left in the day and not enough time to do it.
See you again.
Bye.